In this world, everyone awakens powers based on how much debt they owe. If someone owes 100 grand, they become bulletproof and can rip steel apart with their bare hands. If someone owes 1 million, they can control their power at will, turn their fingers into blades and kill evil spirits. Some people even owe hundreds of billions and can transform into invincible superhumans that not even nukes can kill. And me? Even though I was worth 3 billion, I never awakened any powers. Instead, I became a walking power-up for evil creatures. Whoever devoured me could gain a huge amount of cultivation and level up fast. Luckily, my best bro Liu Changlong owed me 70 million, which turned him into a superhuman who could blow up a tank with one punch. I thought that with my best bro protecting me, I had nothing to fear. But instead, he delivered me straight to a giant mutated spider. Once the spider devoured me, he planned to kill it, claim the demon orb reward, and use it to boost his strength fast. When I opened my eyes again, I had been reborn 3 days before the apocalypse. In 3 days, giant mutant beasts would swarm the world and crush humans like ants. I swore to myself right then that I had to take my fate into my own hands. And the fastest way to rack up massive debt was through my uncle. He was the president of the Shu Group. Over the years, he got greedy, expanded like crazy, and poured money into industries he knew nothing about, leaving the Shu Group buried under 2 trillion in debt. The moment I realized that, I went straight to my uncle Xu Daying's office. "Uncle, I have a request." Xu Daying's face tightened and he said helplessly, "The company has less than 50 million in liquid cash left, and we still haven't paid the staff their February salaries." Hearing that, I quickly explained that I wasn't here to ask for money. Only then did Xu Daying relax a little and gesture for me to sit on the couch. The Shu Group was a family business founded by my grandfather. Before he died, he split the company in 2. My eldest uncle, Xu Daying, and my father each got 50% of the shares. When I was 8, the plane my parents were on crashed. I was only in 1st grade, and overnight I became an orphan, and the richest orphan in the world. Under Xu Daying's management, the Shu Group kept rising. In 10 years, it became the largest private company in Longguo, with a market value over 1 trillion. Even though my original 50% stake had been diluted down to 10%, a fortune of 100 billion was still enough to make me the youngest billionaire in the world. I was never much of a student, so I skipped college and went straight to living off the family money. I asked my uncle for 3 billion as startup money and launched a film company, a game company, and a live stream platform. After 5 years, I had turned those 3 billion into 30 billion. Meanwhile, because of my uncle's reckless expansion and awful investments, the Shu Group went downhill fast and got crushed by massive debt. In just 5 years, Xu Daying went from the richest man in Longguo to the king of debt. Even with debt that insane, Xu Daying could have evolved fast after the global mutation and become an invincible superhuman. But instead, he jumped off a building and killed himself right before it all began. I didn't want the uncle who had raised me all these years to repeat that tragedy, so I smiled and said, "I'm here to help you, uncle. My company still has 2.5 billion in liquid funds. In 3 days, I'll transfer 2 billion to you." Xu Daying's eyes immediately turned red. By then, he'd already borrowed from every bank and every friend he had. Now, even borrowing 10 grand was a struggle. He'd even thought about dying. If he couldn't get the money to pay employee salaries by that afternoon, he was planning to jump. With trembling fingers, Xu Daying lit a cigarette. "You're a good kid. I'll transfer 10% of the shares to you later." The second he said it, Xu Daying let out a bitter laugh. But at this point, nobody wants Shu Group shares. "Uncle, I haven't told you my request yet." I cut off Xu Daying, sighing. "I don't care about the shares. I want you to transfer the Shu Group's debt to me." Xu Daying was stunned. The Shu Group was a family business, and under Longguo law, the legal representative couldn't be changed to an outsider with no blood relation. That was why Xu Daying had no choice but to keep wearing the crown of the world's biggest debtor. Afraid he hadn't heard me clearly, I repeated my